Who you a fool for this one? Who you a fool for this one?
What's going on, Mullen fam? Back with another video. Finesse Monster Activist Bull. If you new, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe so you get more content coming from me. In this video, I want to talk briefly about that drop that came as soon as market opened on Muln Automotive stock. Some people may be curious about what happened. In today's video, I want to talk to you about what is going on behind that drop. My last video, I mentioned to you all that some key inflationary data would be released this morning at 8:30 Eastern time. CPI, Consumer Price Index report, was going to be out there, and the numbers would determine the fact of how the NASDAQ and other indexes out there will perform going into today's trading day. And I also mentioned that there will be turbulence going into today because of that. And you know, the short sellers are very strategic on what they're doing with their positions and how they can get retail investors out of their positions. So I think they are very well trying to take advantage of the amount of volatility in stocks such as Muln Automotive today. Looking at this chart that displays the NASDAQ, S&P 500, and the Dow Industrial, you can see that this big dump happened here on all of the indexes at the same time. You know, Muln Automotive is a part of the NASDAQ exchange. And bringing back up the chart that I showed you on my last video, you'll see that the NASDAQ, it reflects here. This big drop down in the NASDAQ, bringing the other tickers in the NASDAQ down with it. Over here is Muln Automotive. There's the drop there. Also Tesla, there's a drop there. And Apple, same thing, and pushing right back up. So it's following along with reactions from the CPI data that was released this morning. And now we're going to get into the details that are surrounding the Consumer Price Index report. The reaction from the stock market to today's inflation reading could mark a reversal from recent trends. Muln Automotive is a part of the NASDAQ exchange, so it says the NASDAQ composite has historically been most affected by the report, as the index is made up of growth companies whose profits are expected well in the future and are worth less when rates are higher. The stock market was wavering Thursday after data that showed inflation slowed in line with forecasts in December. And it also says the Consumer Price Index gained 6.5% year over year in December, in the line with economists' consensus estimate and lower than November's result of 7.1% core CPI, which strips out the more volatile food and energy prices, rose 5.7% below the prior result of 6%. So the data from December shows that there was a slow in inflation, but still overall a gain of 6.5% year over year, which inflation is still high overall. So that definitely brings in some turbulence on the markets, especially the NASDAQ composite, which Muln is a part of. And some people may also be optimistic that inflation has slowed since December, even though, you know, year over year inflation is still high. But hopefully in the coming months, we could see a trend that inflation is continuously starting to come down. May not be back to normal numbers anytime soon, but just being optimistic about it coming down in general. I know some people may have already noticed that the gas prices, the fuel prices have come down significantly, but still high. And looking at the chart, Muln is still holding up well overall, even though we got that flash crash down as soon as the Consumer Price Index report came out. You know, got some turbulence there, but it's still looking overall bullish. That's the 1 hour chart. And at the time of this recording, we did get back above 40 cents per share, and that is looking good as well. And back when Muln Automotive spiked up to 47 and some change cents right here, Muln did get an indicator of a double moving average crossover. You can see the crossover happening here. The implication is when a shorter and longer moving average of a securities price cross each other, one event, a bullish or bearish signal, is generated depending on the direction of the crossover. A bullish signal is generated when the shorter moving average crosses above the longer moving average. A bearish signal is generated when the shorter moving average crosses below the longer moving average. So a bullish signal here as the shorter crosses above the longer one. You could also check back when we had that run up to $4 and see the same thing. The bottom or the shorter crosses above the longer moving average. Also to mention, keep in mind tomorrow is another important date for Muln Automotive. The 10K filing is estimated to be filed with the Security and Exchange Commission on Muln Automotive's financial report for the year. So be sure to keep a lookout on that as well going forward. I hope y'all find this information valuable. Don't feed the fear out there. Stay charged up, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm gone. Go.